Hello, welcome to Doobies with Doug. Got us a nice fatty. See what happened here was I ground up a joint and was about to knock it out and roll it, and I got a phone call. I got distracted. I had to run and go fix a wheelbarrow, and then run and come back here. And as soon as I got back here, I got distracted doing a bunch of other things to help my friend Jackie out. And by the time I was done, I was really ready to smoke a joint. So I came in here and ground up a joint. And when I opened my grinder, there was that much weed in it. That gives you a hint. But no, I haven't bothered to wash my hands since I was out here digging in the dirt. So we'll smoke this here big fatty. See what happens. So, just as I predicted, I sat up in one of my favorite trees yesterday, smoking a doobie. And along came a couple, younger than me, probably in their 40s. They're two teenagers, one preteen, and about 100 and some pounds of gear. The basic cooler, chairs, blankets, whatever the fuck, bags full of crap. And probably 65 or 70% of the trail they were on is no big deal. The last 200 yards are fairly perpendicular in overall descent, but they are in no way, shape, or form even or level or straight or consistent. Day to day to day, it's a different walk through there every day. The cliffs are collapsing, the trail erodes. What was muck one day is solid rock a couple weeks later. The whole bottom half of the trail is just completely nuts. So I saw him go down, and then later I was up on the cliff and I saw him sitting there picnicking. And I knew ahead of time what was going to happen. And I was right. They gave up. uh, Turns out that $10 Walmart folding chairs are not worth $10 to haul back up this hill. Not to them anyway. I have 4 brand new Walmart chairs. I bungee strap them together and move them 50 feet at a time and hide them in the bushes and then move them another 50 feet next time I come back to the beach, which is a couple times a day. It's no big deal to me. But people do that here all the time. They drag stuff down there and they start dragging it back up and give up. And if you're not used to going up and down hills, you're going to hate it with a quickness. I tried to estimate. I would say it's about 75 to 100 flights of stairs. Because going this way the whole time. You're winding back and forth up the hill, but you're gaining ground the whole way. If you were to go straight up, it's almost fingertip. You know, it's a hell of a fucking incline. So yeah, people give up all the time and find all kinds of shit. Better people think they're gonna camp there. I've found at least 3 tents, brand new tents. People brought out, took out of the packaging, set up and gave up the first night, never to be seen from again. Tent left there, sleeping bags left in it, food left in it, everything. They just give up in the middle of the night. Surprise, motherfucker. 500 feet from the surf line is not where you want to camp on the North Pacific. It might be nice and balmy and 60 degrees when you go to bed. That don't mean it ain't going to be raining sideways with 90-mile-an-hour winds when you wake up. So people abandon their gear down there all the time. I got a little bit of gear. I got 4 chairs. I found one of them little green gas cans, little propane cans for your camp stove that somebody dropped. What else? I'm always finding shit that people drop on the trail. Vape pens, packages of vape cartridges, jars of weed, packs of joints, money, binoculars, skin diver gloves, like the neoprene gloves that they wear for surfing, all kinds of shit, man. But I go up and down the trail so much that I'm the one that finds it. I was trying to see what I had right here that I found. I got tons of beach glass. That's one of my favorite pieces. Big, thick piece of, almost has to be like bulletproof glass or something. And then all kinds of, your regular. That's kind of a neat old blue cobalt piece, but not a lot of beach glass, of course. Doobies. Dougie likes doobies. So I posted a picture on the face crack earlier, and I've since cleaned up my screen since then. But it started with somebody talking about putting a nickel in your grinder. You can see mine's already got a layer of hash around the outside. But I cleaned the bottom out. The picture I posted earlier, this piece right here was full, right up to the top. And I posted it as a comment in one of the weed sites I'm on. And somebody was like, what's it, like 5 years since you cleaned your grinder? I'm like, no. I work for 2 or 3 different people, and one of the people that I work for, I make teeth for them. And that's how I do it. I put a nickel in my grinder, and I just shake it. And the nickel's in it, it goes clickety, 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 clickety. And I just fucking shake it. And it's slow, but it works. And it's all I got for now. But it takes me about 15 minutes to make a gram. So I do, all the time. She'll bring me something she wants kept, I'll keep it. And pretty soon I'm just going to buy a keef box on the fucking interwebs and do it that way. But until then, I'm making it work. But it blows people's minds when I fucking put this picture by the bottom of my grinder. It's got like fucking 8 grams of keef in it. I press mine into hash mostly. For anybody that don't know what keef is, it's just the trichromes, which are the resin glands. Those are the sexual organs of the female plant. Her job is to exude sticky gooiness so that the pollen gets stuck to it and germinates the stamen so that it makes her so it makes seeds. And that's what's got all the THC in it, is the trichomes. And a lot of people don't realize this, but there's two plants that is going to be the savior of mankind, and that is hemp and bamboo. Because everything we're making out of steel, and everything that we're making out of wood, and everything that we're making out of cotton, and everything that we're making out of synthetic fibers can be made with hemp and bamboo. Plus, they both are incredible isolators of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. They're both incredible isolators of carbon in the soil. They're great rebuilders of soil because of that. Both of them will leave soil better than it started. Um, Bamboo is incredibly useful for erosion control and for invasive species control. There's a bamboo's the only thing that can do war with kudzu and occasionally win with some help. If you don't know what arrowroot is, look that shit up, man. It's for real. You have not seen an invasive species plant until you've seen what kudzu can do to a fucking state in a matter of 2 years. Just carpet. Hey, you better eat your cookies. Here comes the kudzu. But anyway, hemp and bamboo, they're both, I mean, bamboo is fucking awesome for so many things, for building and for materials and for fiber and for paper and clothing and so is hemp. They really are the two most important plants that we have on the planet right now. You know, and there's so many ways that we can use plants, not just by destroying them or consuming them, but just like the bamboo and controlling erosion and controlling soil mediation and things like that. And then, like, I read a study one time about pansies, that there's a certain variety of pansies that if they detect high levels of nitrates in the soil, it turns the pansy a radically different color, from a white to a really brilliant pink. And they broadcast plant these all over places that have not been cleared for mines. Anywhere there's a mine, there's a high level of nitrates from the ammonia nitrate in it. And it turns the fucking pansies colors and they know where to look for it. Like, shit like that, you know? It's not just the medicine end of it, but the plant world really is keyed towards the survival of the plant world, and that includes mediating the issues of all the other entities around it. And bamboo and cannabis or hemp in general are probably not probably the two most powerful plants we can get our hands on. I don't want to hear any more about hemp fuel. Okay, climate crisis. Step one: stop setting everything on fire. Step one: put the fires out. For fuck's sake, no more fuel. We don't need it. Pneumatic engines have existed for a long time. Maglev has been real for a long time. We don't need it. Sure as fuck don't need coal or nukes. This obsession with burning shit's gotta go. Gas is up to five. I know gas goes up to $10,000 fucking dollars a gallon. Why are we using this shit? Shut up. The very real long and short of it is every gallon of gas we burn, we're murdering tomorrow's children. How much do you think it should cost? How much is your grandbaby's life worth? Love is an old man planting trees whose shade he knows he'll never sit in. Hate is the opposite. Again, remembering that how you think and how you feel and what you think and what you feel matter not compared to your actions. None of it makes any difference outside of your skull. When your grandbabies say, "What did you do?" what kind of answer are you going to have? I complain like a motherfucker on Facebook. I bought "No War for Oil" bumper stickers and plastered them all over my Subaru. I don't mean to sound cynical, but I am, so it comes out that way. Someone told me once, it's a quote by somebody maybe. Inside every cynic is an idealist who has met reality. I grew up in a generation and around a tribe of people who wanted nothing more to change the world. And that's all they talked about. And none of them, I won't say none, very few of them were willing to change themselves in any real way. And those that did, most of them just faded into obscurity. Because they're always going to be alone. Like me. I was once a part of a circle of several hundred people that considered themselves a family. I am overwhelmingly and resoundingly alone on this planet. I have been for a long time. Being well adjusted to a profoundly sick society is not a sign of mental health. As long as we let the lunatics run the asylum, Uvalde is just the type of shit show we can continue to expect. Go Google "no knock drug raids" on YouTube. No knock drug raid compilation. door breach compilation of cops going into houses full of stoners growing weed. Watch as many of them as you need to. You ask yourself why 100 cops are sitting in the hallway for an hour while a lunatic murders children. I'm serious. Someone should have told them fucking pigs there was an ounce of cocaine in there. They'd have kicked the fucking door in a heartbeat. Cowards. Bullies. Bullies and cowards. You can watch on these auditing videos. The minute a cop is, if the cop is smart enough, but the minute a cop realizes that he can't bully the person he's involved with, he turns into a fucking coward. And he either hides behind his buddies or he runs away. Childish fucking cowards. With guns and badges and special rights to fucking murder you. That won't do their job. You can go on YouTube and you can watch endless fucking videos of entitled politicians or entitled cops and professional courtesy videos of politicians, of cops, of judges, blah, 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 getting pulled over by the cops and being arrogant, pissed off fucking assholes. Who, do you know who I am? This kind of shit. I'll have your job. I'm the prosecutor, blah, blah, blah. You know why they act like that? Because until fucking cameras came along, nobody dared fuck with their boss. You're starting to hear about whistleblower cops now. More and more of them are coming forward, and you're hearing about them. You never heard about them before because they ended up fucking in prison or dead or had to leave the country. Because snitches get stitches, end up face down in the ditches, bitches. Just like any other fucking gang. There's a girl down in Florida, was a highway patrol, I think. Pulled over a city cop for driving 100 plus with no emergency lights on, no seatbelt, and fucking switching lanes, all kinds of crazy shit. And she pulled him over, got him out of the car, wrote him a handful of fucking tickets. Spent the rest of her fucking days fearing for her life for doing the right thing. And that happened, and it happens to every cop that tries to do the right thing. So I say all cops are bastards because the purpose of law enforcement was bastardized right out of the fucking beginning. Okay, when Congress officially ended slavery after the Civil War, all over the country, the first vagrancy laws were born. Not just in Mississippi, in Maryland and in Michigan and Indiana and in Ohio. They existed in Michigan and Indiana when I was a teenager. You could get arrested for fucking vagrancy, for not having money in your pocket. And those laws were invented to criminalize recently freed slaves. Because they were slaves a week ago, of course they didn't have any money. And through the prison system, returned them right back to the motherfucking plantation. That's what those laws were. And there was a long string of them. Called the Black Codes. There were laws that were invented specifically to criminalize blacks. This isn't conjecture. This isn't radical theory. This is well-known, well-documented congressional records. And who enforced it? Who made the black people sit in the back of the bus? Who took the black people to jail for using the wrong drinking fountain? Who rounded up the Japanese and put them in internment camps? The fucking police. Nobody can swear an oath, uphold the Constitution, and follow the orders of the motherfucking government and not break that oath. And because we didn't gas them, that somehow what we did to the Japanese was any better than what anybody else was doing anywhere else in the world, and what Stalin was doing, and what you think we didn't have death camps? A Native American friend of mine told me one time that he studied the Holocaust in college. And his thesis, which he got a C plus on or something like that, he said he didn't get a very good grade on it, was on how Hitler was actually a fairly decent guy because at least he gave the Jews a ride to the death camp. The American government made the Indians walk to their death camps. And the professor didn't like that. It's not a very flattering view. It's a truthful view. It's not very flattering. So, if we as Americans want to garnish our power and become the greatest nation ever in history and live up to all that flowery language in the fucking Constitution, we, the people, are going to have to do it from the ground up. And that's going to have to start with owning the fact that we are not now, nor have we ever been, the fucking good guys. Oh, one hell of a joint. Told you I was just going to spark it and see what fell out of my head, and that's what happened. All kind of shit. Can't stop thinking about these kids in Texas, and it just makes me fucking scream. I'm telling you what, the cops do not want to fucking pull me over and start to hassle me right now. I'm in no kind of mood to listen to no fucking pig shit. These young kids call it cop splaining. I call it pig shit. There's fucking pig shit dribbling out of your fucking pie hole, Porky. Sometimes I go watch the British auditors. You guys really have no idea how good you have it in the UK when it comes to police. You don't believe me? Watch a bunch of American auditors. Your coppers are rather polite and somewhat tame. Might have something to do there. Not everybody has a gun. Well, this has been Doobies with Doug. Y'all have a good night.